Yeah, it's here. The float wheels, baby. We got them.
Float wheel season, boy.
Finally, December 5th, 2022, I put my first deposit down. Look at this, August 24th. We got them yesterday.
Almost September.
So August 23rd, but they're here. And full disclosure, just letting you guys know, I paid full price for this bad boy.
Tony laced us up with this one.
For free. And then we got at least one, maybe two more that are coming as well. So pretty psyched on that. We're gonna have a whole fleet of these bad boys. They send them to you in like different parts. So the board doesn't show up just like this. You actually have to build the board a little bit. Takes, I don't know, roughly a half hour, 45 minutes, depending on your skill set to get the board set up for the first time. We got these all set up, thank you, Keaton. We haven't even put feet on these yet. So we wanted to make sure that you guys got to join us for our initial test. We didn't even ride it through the warehouse. We carried it to the car to transport it here. Carried it from the car to the table.
With our Lamborghinis.
I've never even heard anyone refer to their shoes like that before, but here we are. Just so we had everything on like a fair, even keel and like same level, is we've got just the default tunes on these through Vesk So I've got my own pre-built tunes that I really like to ride for my Vesk boards, but this we're just keeping it with default, like straight out of the box style. And then we've got the ADV Pro over here. We've got it at just the default height level right there, so it's not lowered, it's not raised. I don't know why you would want to raise these things, but some people do, so here you are. We got the tires between 11 and 12 PSI on them. Don't know if that's the correct PSI for these tires. We will find out, but again, straight out of the box, really wanted to test everything. How do you think, what are your thoughts on the build quality for these guys right out the box here?
Initially, everything looks like pretty darn solid. The plastic looks questionable. I'm not sure how strong this plastic is gonna be. It has like almost like a textured look to it, textured feel to it. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it seems like it could be something that's either really strong or really weak.
Yeah, it feels lightweight, like a little bit brittle, but you know, that's one of those things where it could just be, hey, first edition of something, you know, turns out they might break, we learn from it, and they make the adjustments. We'll see. I got a feeling that that plastic's not going to hold up in the long run.
Probably not. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of the plastic parts on even Onewheels in the past are pretty damageable, which is the whole reason, you know, bangs were created and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, heck, if the bumpers aren't compression molded UHMW,
get them out of here.
Get them out of here. They ain't gonna hold up like they should, right? The bumpers seem to be made out of the exact same plastic as little fender delete pieces and the foot pads, so that all looks uniform right there. What do you think about the tire, man?
The tire looks pretty good. It looks extremely familiar.
A little bit. Well, it's little siping patches on the side.
Looks good though. Like there's no like flat spots in the tire. The tread wraps the side of the wall. It's like a nice soft compound. I think it's gonna ride and feel very similar to an Enduro, which is really good. The motor build quality and motor parts look really solid and really strong. The little clips that connect the axle to the rails are really cool looking and really seem pretty darn sturdy. And the motor connection itself seems pretty darn solid. One thing that I'm really curious about is right here, you can see into the axle. The axle's like this big.
Yeah, that cannon core.
And so I feel like dirt's gonna come up and get into your axle, which shouldn't be an issue because you could just tip it over and dump it out. But that's definitely something that's got me really curious on how that's gonna be, like if it's gonna be kind of a pain dealing with dirt in your axle all the time.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting too, that the axle isn't sealed at all. You can literally see daylight through to the other side. Like,
you could stash something in there.
Look at this, I can see my fingers on the other side right here.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. So, and it's really interesting too, because it's the top of the axle that's open, but the bottom of the axle isn't open. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll be an issue. Maybe it won't be an issue. Maybe we screwed up and installed the motor upside down for some reason, and it's actually supposed to be the opposite of that. I don't know. This is our first time with it. But yeah, it should be interesting, man. It looks clean. I like it. Obviously, I'm kind of a little bit more partial to the look of the standard ADV as opposed to the ADV Pro. Might have something to do with these are very familiar looking rails and they look the most like the Dubs, which obviously are my go-to. So yeah, looks a little more thin, a little sleeker too.
Truss look thing is like kind of chill, but it's like it's really too busy for my personal like of aesthetic. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I think they look cooler than the GT.
Bold claim.
Controversial opinion.
Bold claim. Very controversial opinion.
What do you think down in the comments below? Are GTs cooler looking or float wheels?
That's a good question. Like, what do you guys think the best looking off the shelf one-wheel device? We got to come up with a new name besides one wheel, and it can't just be Vesk.
Electric balance skateboard.
Yeah, single-wheeled electric balance skateboard future
Balance
hoverboard.
skating.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of done talking, and I kind of just want to shred it for the first time too.
Oh, yo, real quick.
Yeah. Oh, the handle. We didn't even
Double
talk about the
handles.
handle. Yeah, double handles. But you got to be a freaking rock climber in order to be carrying them, because they're really shallow this direction.
Yeah, it's
like, they're deep and you can get a good deep grip in them for sure. But they're so close to the end that when you hold it up, you kind of have to like pick it way up, and you're kind of like rock climber grip on that, right? But, you know,
You got two of them.
double handle, make things pretty easy. It's super easy to carry it like this. And you definitely need the handles, because these suckers weigh in at a staggering over 40 pounds.
Oh my god.
Which is
yeah,
pretty
I'm
nuts.
Oh!
Yeah,
It's like an AUC. It's like a small AUC.
kind of is. So yeah, they're not light. This thing is definitely modeled more off of the GT than off of the XR.
For sure.
I think we can safely say that.
Which means it'll probably be fantastic for adventuring and trail riding and mobbing around the city, but for anything freestyle wise, trying to trick around on this thing is probably going to be similar to the GT.
Yeah, probably
It's
not
super
it for
clunky and
tricks.
non-responsive.
Yeah, I think this thing is more of like a city group ride commuter, or possibly trail ripper.
Yeah.
We're gonna find that out today, because we're hitting some trails for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's probably not it for the tricks. But you know what? I wouldn't doubt if Tony had something up his sleeve for the next model that was catered for tricks, or for carrying around, being super portable, you know?
And taking a beating.
Yeah.
We definitely need a durable, self-balancing skateboard if we're going to have freestyle one-wheeling progress in any way.
That's modular.
Yep.
I think
Straight
that's
up.
the secret too, that when a part breaks,
Strong and modular.
you could just replace that part, bada bing, bada boom, plug it
Back
in,
out there.
good to go.
Yep.
I think that's the secret. So
That's what the tricksters need.
yeah. All right, well, let's find out how this thing rides. I'd say I'm gonna go hard on it right out the gate. Let's see how this thing
like it.
handles drops before I even ride it more than 2 feet.
I love where your head's at.
Reggie. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, little tail slap.
Little tail slapper on that one. It looks like kind of deactivated a little bit on the landing on that one. That was interesting. But hey, we got default settings. I don't have my foot pad.
Posy on?
I did turn pause on,
Okay.
but what I can also do is I can turn on my foot pad deactivation delay, so I can have it stay active for longer so easily through the Vesk tool. It's the easiest thing ever.
Sick.
But all in all, felt solid on that. The only thing I'm gonna complain about a little bit are these hard plastic foot pads. Everyone's making all these hard plastic foot pads. You know, I'm so used to Cush and everything. Feels a little better. But all in all, not bad. It was pretty smooth. I can tell you right now, this thing just going forward and backwards feels real smooth. Like, that's the first thing I'm feeling, is how smooth it feels.
Smooth is good.
Smooth is fast.
I'm gonna do the not so extreme bench drop for the sake of me shoulder. Oh, I see what you're saying, dude. This one's super buttery too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this looks cool under my feet. I said, tell you what, Julian, you think I got this?
Oh yeah.
Julian says, oh yeah.
Ooh!
I went extra on the nose so I didn't tail out.
I noticed that. Oh, look. What do you think? I'm hearing a little bit of clipping. Are you hearing some clipping in there?
I think it's the
You think it's the nubs on the tire?
delete pieces on the tire.
Yeah, I
Rubbing on
think
the little nubbies.
the tire is a little bit oversized. And when you've got the little fender delete pieces on, it's kind of rubbing there just a little bit. But that's something that'll wear down in like a couple miles, I would assume. Yeah. Yeah, once we burn those little nubbies off. Woo! This sucker's got some power, baby. Look at that. Woo! Oh, thanks. I'm probably definitely gonna need this. For sure. Thank you, Julian. I can tell you right out of the gate, I definitely want to let more air out of this tire.
Yeah?
Yeah, the shoulders on this tire don't really give as much as I would like. So I think we got to let a little bit of air out of there. Right, a little bit lower PSI.
I'm gonna leave my pressure.
Leave your pressure. Yeah. Here you go.
Leave your pressure.
Is it a little taller than...
It
or no,
feels-
would these be the same height?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it centered?
Let's compare it. Stock. Here, let's put it on the table so we have a perfectly level surface. Okay, so they seem about the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem the same. So at exact center on the ADV Pro, it's the same height as the regular ADV, just default. Oh!
Activation is pretty chill. Caveman's.
Oh yeah, it seems to activate good. I mean, I know we've got Aussie on, but it activated real good on mine.
Yeah, getting a lot of rubbing on those little delete pieces.
Yeah, you're rubbing for sure. He's gonna be doing fart noises the whole time.
It's only when I like carve hard on the edge.
Me too.
It's like back in the day when you put a Pokemon card in your bike, so that it sounds like a motorcycle.
Pokemon cards on that? It was always baseball cards for me.
Dude, whatever cards I could find, dog.
All right. Dude, that rub is so funny. I can tell you right now, I'm gonna be taking the little fender delete pieces off of there.
I wonder how it'll look without them.
I don't know.
We're gonna find out. Whoa. You notice how it almost drops as you accelerate?
Well, so what that is, that's a function of the VESC tuning.
Okay.
Is what that is. So that was something I was trying to explain the other day to Jake. Is Jake was riding my board, and he was like, I don't know what's going on, but off-road, I feel like there's some nose hunting going on. I told him, no, that's not actually what's happening. What's happening is you're so used to future motion firmware, and when you get into chunk on future motion firmware, you catch air or anything, it tries to drag the tail on you, right? And so it forces the nose up whenever you get into anything chunky like that. And the way that the VESCs are typically tuned is it just still stays level through the chunk. That's the big reason why it doesn't tail drag as bad off drops or anything like that, right? It stays level. So you're so used to when you hit chunk that you need to stand on your nose in order to power through the chunk with future motion tuning, and it's not the same with the VESC tuning on there. It's you guys just stay level through it and it'll just fire through it just fine. So you kind of have to change the way you ride a little bit. It's like so ingrained in your brain of how to ride chunk.
Yeah.
But it's different on these. But I would argue better. I think it's better if you don't have to stand on your nose through chunk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Logical.
So, all right, so far, like the gas and the brake on this thing feel really, really good.
Really solid.
Really good. I'm not super in love with the tire.
But it's not the worst either.
But it's not the worst. It feels big and bulky, kind of.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I can throw this thing around super good, but that's a huge change. It's a 6-inch hub, so it's not like a GT where you have a limited selection of tires.
Yeah, you got a bunch you can pick from with this thing.
You got a ton you can pick. And I'll bet you once this tire breaks in a little bit too, it'll be pretty solid. I'm so used to enduros and street pros that are just broken in right out.
Yeah,
the box.
right when you put it on.
Yeah. All right, up the curbs.
Up the curbs. Nudge test. Oh, she likes to nudge.
Same.
Power.
I think the tire is so much bigger and there's so much more power. We were expecting a curb climb.
Yeah.
And instead it was actually like bonk.
It's like, wow. Yeah. I'm ready to cruise over. Oh, that's the clip that just got posted the other day.
That's the clip that just got posted the other day.
I know that route.
Yeah. All right, let's climb over these curbs.
Let's do some curb tests.
Yeah. It seems like that one's almost too small. I feel like I can climb the biggest curbs in the world with this thing.
Yep. It's like
got power.
Oh! You gotta come in quick.
You gotta come in hot.
Cause it brakes fast.
The brakes are gonna be a little bit stronger than you used to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right? You hear that thing scream at you?
It's insane. Yoink.
You are so brave for doing that right now. That's nuts.
Oh, dude.
We can talk about that free spin speed.
Oh, we haven't even tested free spin speed yet. Let's check it out while we're here.
That was wild. I mean, like, when you got up on the curb, it was like, that was the fastest I'd heard a one-wheel motor go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Am I on the right one? Yep, I'm on the right one. Okay, so free spin speed is, oh my God, 46 miles an hour. That's not kilometers, that's miles an hour. That's so scary.
That's fast. the GT's free spin at 30, what? 3 or 4
I think they're like
something?
37.
Yeah, in the 30s.
Yeah, I think they're 37 on GTs. But that's scary. This thing has some wicked power. And I guess I kind of like the way the motor sounds.
I do too.
The motor sounds really cool, like that big old hollow cannon core.
You can hear the air?
Yeah, like you get more resonance out of it.
Nice.
This is the motor to stick a microphone in for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, look at all that room.
Yeah.
You got tons of room.
You got any dirt in there yet?
I'm not hearing any jingling.
I've got 2 specks of dirt.
Should we hit a couple little bonks off this guy?
Let's do it. Box guys.
Thanks for letting me go first so I don't look bad right out the gate. Woo! Dude, does that make the craziest sound in the air?
Yeah.
It sounded like a lightsaber in the air. Like, I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone. You probably can't, but that's a crazy sound. Wow. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of board.
It's a lot of board. Like, you know how the GT feels like so much more board than the XR?
Yes.
And like, for me, I think that's kind of a negative, honestly, because I like even snowboarding, I don't like riding a big, stiff, sharp edge board. I like a shorter, like nice and flexy, you know, detune the edges. I want something I can play and throw around, right? And then that level from the XR to the GT, this almost feels like not quite that big of a gap, but like maybe another half step up.
Sure.
From there is what I'm feeling.
You're going like park board to like a 180 millimeter all mountain bomber.
Kind of. Like, I don't want to be hitting handrails on this thing, you know. I'm not
Right.
I'm not Zeb.
Yeah, Zebulon, dude.
Yeah. Bonkability and volume. What do you rate it?
I would rate its volume / bonkability at a solid, like, definitely in the 8s, probably mid to high 8s, like an 8.5, 8.7, because it's powerful and heavy, so it pops off really nice, but then it's got so much motor torque coming back down that it's like little taily.
Oh, now keep in mind, all this stuff can be tuned different.
Right.
You're riding a default
This is just,
tune right here.
which is crazy because I was expecting it to kind of feel like shit, but I'm like in my head thinking like, wow, I could probably ride this for a couple months and not even really
The Vest
do
stuff has
anything to it.
kind of come a long way in the last few months.
For sure has. Like riding your boards. I'm super hyped, maybe viewers. I got my first Vesk controller and waiting on a BMS to show up. I'm about to convert one of my XRs to Vesk, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited to dive into the nitty gritty.
An XR that works.
Yeah.
Doesn't dump you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, I'm really liking it. Should we see how it rides the trails after we do like 3 more nudges?
Yeah. We got to smash some trails. You just loving the nudge?
Yeah, bro. It like
nudulon.
It wants to do it. It's like, nudge me, daddy. More nudgies, daddy.
Look how good it just climbs up these hills, though. It's just like hours up.
Does it sense that it's on a hill? It almost felt like it lifted the nose.
I'm not sure if there's any ATR built into the default tuning. I don't think there is, but it's possible.
Kind of feels like it. Meow.
Oh, Julian, you're scraping your nose through there. What's going
It's a
on?
good thing I lifted it.
Oh. Oh shit, here they come. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's bombing. Yo.
Jesus Christ.
Scary.
Have you tried to do the skirts yet?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. There's so much power. You gotta like really toss it.
Dude, it sounds like you're on asphalt.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. What? Ooh. When you go up on the little like side hilly things on the trail, it lifts the nose.
Oh yeah, you're not used to that. That's the turn tilt.
Bro.
Yeah.
Turn tilt's sick.
That allegedly Future Motion's going to be building into their custom shaping that's coming out here in 2 weeks.
I freaking hope so.
They're going to build that turn tilt kit.
It's super sick.
It's been missing from Future Motion.
Yeah, it like totally keeps your nose up. I like that a lot. Oh. Oh man. Oh boy. That's crazy. This is just the default stock tune. Oh dude, I haven't really bombed through a trail like this in a while. Feels good.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Are you
You
serious?
see how that bounced up to my feet?
That's the most dangerous one-wheel trick in the history of one-wheel tricks and hippie jumps.
I had to try it.
And he stomped it perfect. It bonked mid-hippie jump. I don't even know if you got that shot. The thing jumped up 6 inches in the air. Landed in bolts.
It keeps rolling. Doesn't shut off like the GT does. When you jump off of the GT, it just goes boom and hits the brake.
So Bodhi, this is a feature of the best tuning that you can change very easily. Huh. Yeah, so you can change your motor resistance to where you can have it just completely freewheel, or you can actually select different resistances in it to where you can have it just lightly kind of have it hit the brakes, or like very heavy hit the brakes like the GT. Like remember when the GT came out originally?
Yeah, it was free spin.
Freewheel, and you loved
You
it.
could flip it around backwards and throw it like hundreds of feet.
It was the best. We actually had our one-wheel Olympics when we did the Ghost Ride Challenge, so you could throw it the furthest. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say who won by a mile on there, but gold medal, baby. Bringing it home. Team
I
USA.
don't remember. We should probably watch that video again.
Probably watch the video again. It's probably up here or here somewhere. Wow. Or there. Wow. Wow. Or maybe there. Wow. The level of disrespect from this guy. It's insane.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Just goofy.
Yeah. Oh, sheesh.
Yo, toe spin? What's toe spin like on this shit?
Dude, you're gonna kill us all on a toe spin. Watch, the lens is about to break from a rock.
Bat out of hell.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Crazy.
It's crazy. Like the amount of just unrestrained power on this thing. There's so much power.
Is there anything you don't like about it so far?
Yeah, there's definitely stuff I don't like about it so far. You want to talk about that now, or you want to keep on ripping?
Yeah, let's keep having fun.
Let's keep on ripping.
Oh, lots of holes. Lots of holes and bumps. Yo, I think one click down is gonna be like the perfect height.
I agree with you. I think it needs to be lower for sure.
Yeah, but not too low.
It feels like clearance is definitely not a good.
Not really, especially with the way the nose comes up. What were you calling that?
Ooh, turn tilt.
Turn tilt. Yo. Yo. This is so fun to ride the little side ridges on the trail. Yo, yo. With the turn tilt. Future Motion, if you're watching this, please put turn tilt in your custom shaping. Like, it is apparently rumored to be added. Yoink. Oh, it's kind of hard to get it to skirt. It's so heavy and powerful. Whoa!
Good save, good save.
Okay? Yeah, perfectly good. That's about as much slam as I can take right now. That's perfect. I really liked the volley pop, and I just stepped on it a little too confidently and rolled right over.
What happened?
Popped a volley.
Nice.
Landed a little like back this way.
Okay.
And just like fully committed on it. I was like, I landed that.
Oh, so you got.
And so I rolled this way.
You hit a taco.
Yeah, tacoed forward.
Ooh,
everything's chill.
Okay.
Shoulder's fine.
Remember back there when you asked me, hey, is there anything you don't like about it?
Yes.
The one thing that I don't like about it is that it feels tippy like a GT.
Extremely.
It feels tippy like a GT.
Even with the light dubness of the rails.
Yeah. I like the angle of the rails. They do feel, I don't know, I haven't measured them, but they feel a touch more shallow than I'm used to on the angles, and that's okay. Yeah. That's fine. It is what it is. I'm used to a 3.5, and I think these feel like 3.3s to me, but I could be wrong. What we can do is we can drop this down a little bit. Yep. That'll help with the stability. It'll help with that top roll taco situation you just had. Mm-hmm. And then what I think is contributing pretty significantly to that top heavy tippiness is the tire itself.
Yeah.
So I think the tire itself, to me, it feels like a lightly treaded Vega with a touch more carve to it.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think if it breaks in, it would actually be a pretty sick tire. But this shoulder edge right here feels a little snappy. A little snappy and tippy.
Yeah, totally.
Like if you catch a rock into the corner, it'll kind of want to top heavy on you.
Yep.
And then that's compounded with the GT frame, essentially, which is a top heavy style frame.
Right.
And so I think that's what you're running into. But I don't think it's any more or less tippy than a stock GT out of the box.
Yeah, it feels very similar.
Yeah, that's the thing. It feels very similar to a stock GT.
Yeah.
Like if you were like, hey, close your eyes and jump on this, what kind of board do you think it is? I'd be like, oh, it's a GT.
Yes, I think it takes it by just a few points because of the tire.
Yeah.
Like the tire is similar to the Enduro, but it's a lot flatter. But it's I like the feel of it better than the treaded tire that comes on the stock GT.
The stock GT.
The slick tire that comes on the stock GT, I really like that one, like kind of lower PSI. That one's, it's a slick, so it's pretty all right after it breaks in. Yeah. So yeah, it would be kind of tough to tell with like the weight of it, but I think this one, as far as stock out of the box goes, this one I think is a little bit better. But they are
than a GT is
darn similar. Yeah.
So the thing that I like about this board, and the thing that I think it makes it sort of a game changer, is that motor.
Totally.
I think the motor's incredible. Mm-hmm. I've ridden basically the same like Vesk style setup with a hypercore on it, and this feels way better than that. Like this motor's so smooth.
Yeah.
And it sounds so cool, and it's so powerful. I think this motor wins.
And I don't know how the heck this is going to overheat with how big it is and how much air is able to travel in and out.
Yeah, there's a ton of airflow going through that, and we'll torture test this thing later, obviously. This is just sort of an initial impressions video.
Yep.
But we'll do the science on this thing. We'll pit it up against GTs. We'll pit it up against Vesked out XRs with big old battery packs in them. Like, we're going to
put it through the ringer, baby.
Put it through the ringer. Going to put it through the ringer for sure. But I will tell you, I didn't really have a ton of expectations for this, to be honest with you. I thought it could go either way. I thought it could be awesome, and I thought it could be really shitty. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of exceeded any sort of expectations I have just initially, just off this first ride. Now, we haven't torture tested it at all.
Right.
We haven't swapped it for the tire we like.
Nope.
We haven't lowered it down at all to be more of like a more balanced center of gravity and sort of take that top tippiness out.
We haven't put another foot pad on it yet.
Exactly. There's like, we haven't swapped the grip. We haven't even put gripples on this thing yet.
Oh man.
How are we riding without gripples? That's what, I bet you would have stuck that with gripples.
I probably would have.
Gripples so good, they're illegal at Race for the Rail.
Ka-chow.
New tagline. Yeah, where was I going with this?
It's exceeded your non-existent expectations.
It did. What would make this the perfect board for me is thin it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Lower that center of gravity a tiny bit.
Yep.
Get the perfect dub angles on it. Get a tire that I really like on it, and lighten it up. I think if it was a little bit lighter as well, so it was like XR weight instead of being over 40 pounds, if we go like sub 35 on it.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect board for me. I think we got to, these foot pads are better, I would say, than the stock.
They're less edgy,
yeah,
but they're still edgy.
Still a touch edgy right here because you can see, Tony, you're killing me, dog. You made the same mistake as Future Motion on this one, but it's all good. This can be corrected.
Go out.
Yeah. From the rail, the foot pads actually go in like this. So you get less foot pad area for no reason at all, and you actually get a sharper edge right here when you get it into the concave. If you have them come straight up or even bow out just a tiny bit, you get more real estate for the exact amount of plastic and volume. Yep. And you mellow this edge out a little bit too. But yeah, I would say for a flagship, like first out of the gate, first ever like fully built board coming from Tony and Floatwheel, you did a good job, man. There's definitely stuff that you should clean up on this, like
there's room for improvement.
Change some plastics, you know, better bumpers on them.
A little more distance between the fenders and the tire.
Yeah, for sure. You know, tweak that tire. You know, it's not hard to tweak a tire compound and maybe get a new mold going or something like that.
Yeah.
The nice thing about it though is that's a 6-inch hub right there.
Yeah. So you're not stuck with their tire. You can
throw a
test
Street
some
Pro
other stuff
2 on
there.
it, throw an Enduro on it, throw that big tire Burris on it, which Nico just told me that the big tire Burris fits on there, the 7-inch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That probably feels nice.
That probably feels really nice because it's got super squishy sidewalls on it, so it's got like a really nice edge to it.
Yep.
But yeah, Tony,
Solid job.
good job, man. Initial impressions, without torture testing it, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Now, if we end up breaking it during torture test, this is subject to change for sure.
Might shimmy one or two of the
shimmy a little
thumbs.
bit. The nice thing too, if it breaks, you can send you a new part, you plug it in, you're good to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing's paired together, married, bonded.
Exactly. So I say we put the camera away and go soul ride for a little bit, which would be a super fun time. Then we'll go back, we'll gear them all up with everything we want. You know, we'll throw some gripples on there, we'll switch the tires out.
Yep.
We'll lower it down, we'll get it all dialed in, and then we'll pit this thing up against some GTs and we'll see what we like better.
Do a little verses.
Do a little versus, see what climbs better, see what goes
little
faster, see what gets more distance, see what's got more torque.
We're gonna have all kind of categories and whatnot.
All kind of categories. So that's it, guys. This is the ADV and ADV Pro. Thank you again, Tony, for sending us one free one. And this one is mine. I bought it with my own money, just so everyone knows. So we're not super biased. We're only 50% biased.
Only slightly biased.
Yeah, I guess so. But no, you know, if it was shit, I'd tell you it was shit.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah,
and,
we would never lie to you.
And it's possible that it maybe still doesn't hold up to our abuse, but we don't really know until we torture test it.
Some stuff is like super smacking right when you get it, but then like we'll see how long the batteries last, how long they're punchy, how long the motor is punchy. We'll see if the parts just completely fall apart. We'll see if the rails, if we deal with the same problem we used to have before homebrews where our rails were just stripping left and right.
Yeah,
That's
see if we start
something
shattering foot pads, shattering bumpers, all that kind of stuff. But
we got to really hit the streets before we know. But initial impressions,
positive.
bueno.
Positive.
Worth finding some cryptocurrency.
Yeah, good luck on that one. Get into the blockchain, boys.
Yup.
So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. This has been fun. We've been waiting like what feels like a year for this float wheel, and it's finally here. So we're stoking on that.
Worth the wait.
Yeah.
Beauty takes time.
That's it. Do the YouTube things if you want, or don't. Just turn it off right now and go outside and ride. That's a better idea. But if you're going to be stuck on the TV, subscribe, hit a like, leave a comment. Algorithm loves that apparently. I don't know.
Let us know what you had today for lunch.
There you go. Whatever.
Or if it's breakfast, what did you have for dinner last night?
That's a tough.
I want to know.
That's a tough call. I don't even remember that. Anyway,
Shit if I do.
Thank you guys. As always, we appreciate you. Float on, my friends. You're supposed to move out of frame.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.